Hi there, my name is Jo and this is my channel Creative Empowerment. Thank you for joining me today. Today we've got a pick a card reading. I'm not really sure what we're doing. A pick a card reading all for you is all I can say. I don't know what we're doing. We've got 3 different piles today which are decks. So we have the first one which is the Lightseers Tarot, and we have Nummite on top of it. We have Black Tourmaline, and we have, I've forgotten the name of this. It's another tarot deck and I've forgotten the name. The third one is Wisdom of the Avalon, and I've forgotten what that crystal is. So I'm doing well. So we have Ganesh in with us here today. Hopefully Ganesh can try and, find some order in this chaos. So I don't know what we're doing today. Please join me. Let's see where we go. See which pile you're drawn to. There will be timestamps in the description box below. As always, please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more readings like this. And if you would like a private reading, God knows why you would at this point, there's a link in the description box below as well. I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you chose the blue Nummite and the Lightseers Tarot, then this is your pick a card reading for you. We're keeping it that simple today so it can stay really open and finding out what it is, what is the message for you that needs to come through this pick a card reading. Okay. We're going to start there, so I'm going to talk as I keep. So we've got the 5 of Wands in reverse and we've got the 3 of Cups. Now the 3 of Cups I have read many times as a karmic card. It has many karmic lessons attached to it in some circumstances, and I'm feeling that very much so, particularly because we've got Nummite. Nummite is about healing past life, karma, trauma, whatever it is. So at the moment, this 3 of Cups is really very central to this situation for you. Now, oops, I'm not taking any of those cards because they didn't come out cleanly, but I do want to understand more about what this 3 of Cups situation is for you here. So is there any other? I feel like we're going to get 2 more cards, but they may not come just yet, but let's have a look. This one. What else is it that we need to know about the situation here? Okay, so I'm hearing same sex. I'm going to take those 3. Thought we're going to get 4 cards. We've got 5. You want to take all them? Yep. Okay. So I'm hearing that you could be part of a same-sex partnership. You could be having an issue with a friend who is the same sex as you. There's multiple, actually I want to move them up there. There we go, that's better. So, yeah, but there is conflict here with a same-sex relationship. It doesn't have to be, a partnership, like a loving, a partner. This can be multiple people. For some of you, this will be a group, and for others, it will be a partnership. And it feels same sex. Okay, so there we've got that information. Let's move on. So this is karmic. We're living karmic patterns here. So if you are having trouble in your relationships, or in this relationship that we are talking about, something is quite out of balance. Now, there's a lot of purple here, very spiritual colour, so it's very much about a spiritual lesson that is playing out in this lifetime. It didn't appear like that. The meeting, you may have met them and thought that you felt like you knew them before, but this feels like it's been under the radar until now. And the conflict is a conflict that doesn't seem to be resolving. It's not necessarily the worst thing that you've ever seen in your life. In fact, I actually want to say that it actually feels like it's more underground. It's actually subtle. It's almost that energy of, no, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing to see here. Keep moving. When you know there's something wrong And I believe that you need to listen to your, your intuition, those nudges that you are getting, because there is something here that it's sitting under the surface. And I said before, it's flying under the radar because it's like it hasn't been expressed outwardly yet. We have a lot of reversed cards. Actually, the only card that is not reversed is the Three of Cups, which is what's showing up as the signal that this is actually happening, because you may have been thinking that what you've been feeling is not real. These two cards out here, the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Five of Swords, I feel like that this person, I want to say something, but I also don't really want to swear, but I want to say that this person is head effing you in a sense, or this situation, because it might be a couple of people for some of you. This person is pretending that everything is okay, that they are here for the long run. And now that's not for everybody, but there are some people that need to hear that. This person is making you think that it's all in your head and that there is nothing wrong. Okay, so these two are these kind of energies that are sitting out on the sides here, because I was seeing this as a, this was going to be this core message here, and it really is. These, I think this is gaslighting, but I'm too uncool to know what gaslighting is. So just thought I'd let you know. I think this is, and this may not be, because I don't even really know what gaslighting is. I think it's when someone tells you one thing and they really mean another. But what I'm getting here is that if you're in a committed relationship, it's slightly different. If you're in a relationship where, it's still in the early days, then this could be what it's called. If it's with a friend, it could be either of those things. Okay, let's move on. We have the Temperance card in the reverse. This is a balancing out of this karma. This is a mixing. Now, my hands wanted to stay up because at the moment, this person or this group or whatever situation that we're talking about, relationship here, it is completely out of balance. One person has the upper hand, and it's not meant to be like that. And what I'm seeing is that you're not meant to be behaving the way you're meant to, excuse me, let's start again. You are not behaving in the way that you normally do. Let's put it that way. The Ten of Cups here usually talks about family harmony and, having all that emotional fulfillment, but it's in the reverse. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So these are very much about what it is that you want on the earth plane. You want this relationship to work. You want the fulfillment that you saw coming, that was promised to you from this relationship. And this person, I don't know whether this is you or the person, and perhaps that's because it's a group reading, it could be either. But the Queen of Pentacles here is talking about someone who's really connected to the earth, someone who's, loves all the earthly qualities like a Taurus. I'm a Taurus rising, so really, likes those earthly things like eating and drinking and, just feels really comfortable and at home on the earth. And it's in the reverse here. So there's two things that this is talking about, and one or both may apply to you, but that's up to you. One is that you were promised, this relationship promised you something that it's not delivering at this point in time. There feels like someone is gaslighting you because they're pretending that there's nothing wrong, and there is. It has you and them behaving in a way that neither of you would normally behave. So it's actually creating this total imbalance in the relationship as well as in the two or more people involved. So now I want to bring in some more information. About, now, I want to bring that card out. The Six of Pentacles in the reverse. This totally talks about what I've just been saying. It's out of balance. This was supposed to be a reciprocal arrangement with both of you in this lifetime. It is completely out of balance because on the earth plane there is something that is causing that to be thrown off. And it could be that this person earns more than you. It could be, we're not taking all those, there's way too many. It could be that that some way, shape or form. Okay, so there are two cards that came out prominently then when those cards sort of went all over the place. One is the Page of Cups in reverse. You're not trusting what you believe about the situation, which we've already talked about. You are much more sensitive than you're allowing anyone to see, even yourself. And the last one here we got is the King of Pentacles. So again, this card here, it can talk about someone who has more strength and power on the earth plane. And I feel like having these two cards, this is one of a naivety or a younger person, and this one is, experience and knows what they want. So I feel like this relationship, you may be outwitted is one thing that, I just heard. You may be outwitted because this person may be older than you or more experienced than you. It doesn't have to be older. And again, here I have same-sex relationship. And I think that's important. So if you're listening to this and you've got like you're a woman and you've got a male partner, this is not the reading for you. You may notice some things that are similar, but this is not about that. This is about a same sex. This is a girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever. However you identify. What I'm seeing here is a divide. Yeah? There's a divide between your experience level and this other person's experience level, and when I said before that they're sort of gaslighting you, they're making you think that you're crazy, and you're not, because they feel like they have all the cards here. They feel like they are in control, and for some of you this might be reversed. I don't feel that. This feels definitely the other way around. I feel like you're not being taken advantage of, but you've had your head turned, and this person is not being truthful with you. This person, there's something more going on here, and it is completely out of balance. We have this card normally talks about balance, and we have the Temperance and the Six of Pentacles on the sort of subtle underpinnings of this. There is an out of balance situation because of past life karma. Let's have a look at what you can do about it, okay? Now my dog is starting to really annoy me because it's his feeding time or his dinner time, and he's like, excuse me, but there's too many cards there, which is why I'm turning that over. Can I please get my dinner? So what can you do about the situation? Woo! I'm going to take those cards. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups reversed, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the Six of Swords reversed. Lots of swords cards, lots of air energy here, and the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups in the reverse, I feel like you need to decide what it is you want from this relationship, whether you want to continue with it or not. Because we also have the Six of Swords reversed. So this could talk about you leaving it. It doesn't feel like that because it's in the reverse position. But I also don't think you should stay if you are being gaslighted or if this is control and manipulation. The Queen of Swords in the reverse is telling me that you don't know which way to go forward and you can't see the situation clearly enough. So I feel like you're going to need some time, but the main thing for you to do is decide what it is you want. So it is to see this in the way that it needs to be seen, that there is something karmically playing out that you may or may not be able to sort of get a handle on or understand. Maybe you want to get a piece of numbnut or go and visit a crystal healer or someone else who can work with past life karma or trauma or whatever this ends up being for you. But it's get clear about it. Don't let it become muddied, because this is, that's in the reverse position at the moment. You need to decide what it is you want, whether you want to move forward or whether you've had enough. When you become clear, then you'll know whether you're going to leave or whether you're going to whether you're going to make the changes that will make this a situation where you want to be in. But at the moment it is out of balance and it needs to be brought back into balance. But you need to decide what you want first. But know that all these undercurrents that you have seen, they are there. They truly are. There is definitely this spiritual lesson that you are learning with this relationship. Now, I've made it sound really dark and big and whatever, and it may not feel like that way to you. But you know, this could be a work relationship and all this stuff is happening. It's about knowing this stuff so you can bring it to light, so that you can, you know, cut through the crap and get rid of all the stuff you don't need and move forward confidently and know what it is that you want out of this relationship. Thanks for watching today. If you've liked this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you would like a private reading, there's a link in the description box below to know more about what's going on in your life. Thanks for being here. See you again soon. Bye for now. Hi there, pile 2. If you chose the black tourmaline, this is your pile. Messages for you, or your pick a card reading for you. I don't really know what the title of this reading is going to be. We're really just flying by the seat of the pants here. We're seeing what Spirit wants to talk about and yeah, going from there. So we have the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is a great card to start with. Fiery, you know, knows what he wants, passionate, excited. Ace of Swords. Wow. Clear. Direct. What other information do we need to start this reading today? Here we go. Okay. All right, we're going to start there and we'll see how we go. So we've got the King of Wands upright, and I'm being very much drawn to the lion. So you could be a Leo. You know, the fire signs obviously relate to astrological fire signs. But there's something else there that I need to bring my awareness to, but we'll start with these other cards and then come back. We have the Ace of Swords. So it feels like something is going to become very, very clear to you, pile 2. We have the King of Cups sitting underneath the King of Wands. I feel like you've had to let something go, and it's still hanging around. It's still in the background. It's still in your awareness. And this King of Cups is sitting directly under the King of Wands. So I feel like there's this emotional intensity or this emotional release that you either haven't let go of, you're still hanging on to, or like you may let go of it. You may have a couple of drinks and then let go of all your emotions. You may just let things come out of your mouth. But I am being very much drawn to the cup in the hand, and not because it's a cup filled with emotions, but more so the drinking element. Feels like some suppressed emotions here may be surfacing when you've had a few drinks, or even a drink. But you know, it enables you to access things that you want to keep hidden. And the thing about this thing, whatever it is that you're letting go, it feels like it's in your past. It feels like it's behind you, but it also feels like you're not letting it go. You're keeping it stuck there, because it feels really clear to me. Whatever this thing is feels quite clear that it's still around you. Now that's going to be different for everybody. But the King of Wands here, I feel like you're trying to tame part of yourself and doing it through submission. So you might be somebody who, so I just heard that you might be a recovering alcoholic. You might be someone who doesn't necessarily classify themselves as an alcoholic, but someone who struggles with drinking and you know, lets themself drink too much, which I know I used to do that a lot, as a way of coping with, you know, with your own emotions. But it feels like you're trying to suppress part of yourself and you're doing it in a way that is not allowing what it needs to come out and be released, okay? That's the short way of saying what I'm seeing here. But there is something that's going to clear up. There is this, it could be an opportunity for some of you, but there is definitely a clarity of mind coming in. You know, feels like it could be a decision that you're going to make. You're going to make a decision where you say, okay, that was the past. This is what is in the past, and I am breaking with this. I am forging ahead with a new future. And it feels like you're very clear about that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to move forward quickly and easily, but you are very clear and decisive about the action that you need to take. So that's awesome, pile 2. We have the 8 of Swords, which can talk to us about the imprisonment of our own mind. But the good thing about this is that normally in the Rider-Waite deck, we have, you know, the blindfold on. In this deck, we don't have that, and we almost have like, we have something in the way between us and this castle that's in the distance. But the thing about what is in our way is we put it there ourselves. So I want to bring in some more cards here about this, because I am getting quite a strong message about what this is about for you, and I hope you're hearing this message. And I don't want to make it too abrupt and too finite, because this is a group message. It won't be exactly the same for everybody, but you will get the message that you need to get from what I'm saying, and that's why I'm keeping it loose. So just so you understand. Wow. Okay, so this is some really great cards coming in for you. So your masculine energy in your body. Now, this has nothing to do with being a male or a female. It doesn't have anything to do with your gender. What this has to do with is, you know, assertiveness, the qualities that we associate with yang. So I'm going to use those terms. So these are all male cards. The Sun, strength, stamina, or except for the King of Cups, which is in the reverse. But we have the King of Swords here, we have the Emperor, and we have the Ace of Wands. So I love these cards for you. Now, I pulled them about the 8 of Swords, which is a card of self-imprisonment, of anxiety. But what I'm seeing here is a way out of this for you. I am seeing the future. What I mean by that is not me seeing the future. I'm seeing a future avenue for you, that your higher self, that the divine wants you to know about. They want you to know that when you get really clear about clearing whatever this is up, whatever you're trying to suppress within you, when you're ready to clear it from your body, when you're ready to clear it from your life, this self-imprisonment is going to not fall away, because that would be, you know, the story would be too easy. I like easy. Let's not. You know, there's nothing wrong with easy. However, I don't want to make this seem like it's going to be quick. It's magic. It's done, because it's not that. We're dealing with your mind here. There are 3 Swords cards, so we're really dealing with your mind and your passions as well as your emotions. But the great thing is that we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is coming in with that clarity. So you have this great idea, and then the King of Swords comes in with the stamina, with the strength, with the ability to cut through all the crap and do what he needs to do. And when I say he, I mean you. Regardless of sex, it means that you have a clear direction, you know what you want, and here he is wrapped in a bear skin. So he's channeling a very yang animal, an animal that is the king of the jungle, you know, or the king of the plains, whatever you want to call it. But he knows his own strength. He knows how much stamina he has. He knows his own abilities. And the other thing that comes with this is that the clouds are behind him. So he understands that whatever this situation is, he has the ability to put it in the past once and for all, not like the King of Cups out of balance here, and, you know, easily upset the balance here. The King of Swords says, no, this is something we know how to fix. I know what I need to do. When I put those things to motion, I'm going to get the right benefits. Because then we have the Emperor, and the Emperor is all about rules and structure. It is the Aries card. It is talking to you about, I also see it as a Capricorn card too, because it's about structure and, you know, solidity. It's very solid, this card, and that's a great card here. So what this is saying is that when you know what it is that you need to do, the idea comes, there'll be this internal conviction inside you, this internal knowing, this, I can do this. There'll be some very firm rules and structure put in place. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but you might need to see a counsellor or somebody to help you with this. There may be some, like this could be going to, you know, a 12-step program for some of you. You know, not that that's something, well, we do have that in Australia, but it's not as common. I think my guides are saying, shut up, it's well, you know, it's common here. Anyway, what I'm saying is that the Emperor here is talking about rules and a structure. Here's my dog, say hello. Rules and structure around how it is you're going to achieve the results that you want to achieve. This is Splash. And here is the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands is coming to talk to you about your own strength of character, your own passion, your own abilities to get the job done, to make things right and to make your world right. There's a very strong sense here that it'll be done by your own hand. So it doesn't mean that, like I said, that there won't be somebody who, because these all could be people. I'm not feeling that. The Emperor here, they're all talking about the typicalities of what these things are. What I mean by that is not necessarily them depicting people. They could all be people, but they don't feel like it to me. However, you may see somebody to help you with this uncovering, releasing these emotions. And, you know, releasing it from your mind as much as anything else. But you have this ability to actually to get what it is that you want out of this situation. You have the ability to make this happen for yourself. And this card, like it could have showed up as the Magician or something like that. But this card here is showing me that you have the ability, it's very similar to the Ace of Swords. You have the ability to, you know, shake up what's in your life to bring what it is that you want into your life. Now, a lot of us want change in our life, but we don't necessarily know how to go about it, or we're too frightened to move forward. I'm seeing none of that for you. You have all of these masculine strength, which is the desire and the will. You have clear direction in your head. You may need some reassurance that you're going to get there. This reading today is definitely for you in that sense. This is a reassurance that you need, that you can make this happen in your life. It doesn't mean it's going to be, you know, quick and easy. But what it does mean is you have the mental fortitude, you have the desire, the will, the emotional strength. Like, you have everything you need. The only card that, you know, it could sum up the whole thing in one go is the Magician, but we wouldn't have got the rest of the story. Thank you for watching today, Pile 2. I hope this message has resonated. Please let me know in the comments below if it has. And as always, if you would like a personal or a private reading, there is a link in the description box below. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more readings like this. Bye for now. Hi there, Pile 3. If you chose the Crystal Heart that I do not know what it's called, one day someone will help me with that. So we're using Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of Avalon cards, and we're leaving this very open. It is what the pick a card reading for you. So what is it? So we have the Mystery reversed, card 52. What else have we got? I think we just need to start there actually. So the Mystery reversed is upside down. Now this is talking about, I'm really being very guided to the very back of this, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is this little well lit. So, you know, the forest has these sort of darker avenues. It's pointing that direction. But right at the back there is a lot of light, as if you've come over the top of a hill. But it's like I'm really being drawn to that, even though the sign is pointing the other way. So I feel like at the moment, there may be a couple of things that this is related to. One is that you may be getting signs and signposts that you're not paying attention to when it comes like from spirit. They may be giving you signs that you're totally ignoring, that you're not even seeing. Or it could be that you feel like you're being led elsewhere, down a path that you didn't think you were going to go down. And that feels like probably the strongest for me with the people watching this group. It feels like you may have thought you were going this way, and that was the way that you've been going for quite a long time. And now you have this, feels like, what's the word? It's like you're bored with that. It's like, or you have no feeling about it. You know, the path that you thought you were on, it doesn't feel like it's satisfying. It doesn't feel like it's going where you want it to go. It feels a bit drab and boring. And I don't even know if you know what this thing is that's at the back here. I really don't, because it feels like it's there, but you may not be aware of it. And it's in the reverse, so I'm feeling like that's probably going to be the case for you, pile 3, that you don't know that there's this thing there waiting for you, that there's this other avenue that's calling you. And it feels really kind of, not mysterious because the card says mystery, but, mystic. Love it. I love it. The raven, magic. Oh my God, this couldn't be even perfect. Could not be any more perfect. Magic, coincidence, synchronistic events, and that is exactly what I mean. It's like, it's mystic, okay? It's something that you don't see coming or you didn't plan for, something like that. And like my body's like, it's exciting. There's some, there's some events coming. There's something out of the blue. And the Raven card has all air around it. It's all a little bit hazy. So it could be that you may not see this thing coming straight away, but you also may not see what this is going to bring into your life. Like there's going to need to be a period of time where the dust settles before you understand what this is bringing in for you. Okay. So I felt the death card before it came, and it wasn't necessarily the last card, but we got love. Now the love is on the right hand side, so I feel like this is a future thing happening. We've got death over on the left here, and we've got 45 and 46. So these are sequential cards and sequential energy, and I kind of like that for you, pile 3, because it means like you're moving forward. There will be something that you need to let go of though, and that probably has this, it's about whatever it was that you thought was your path. It's not your path. It's no longer for you in the same way that it was. So there's going to be something that you leave behind, and that could be an old you, and there could be, quite an unraveling around that. And what I mean by that is that when you don't see something coming and it comes into your horizon, at first it can be exciting, but then you might go through many stages where it's like, well, that's now uncomfortable, because what do I do with the life that I had planned? I have all this over here that I'm going towards. What happens with all of that stuff? So this death card can be really liberating and can be very exciting. And the Raven is talking about all this wonderful coincidences and magic. So it's going to be this path that once it's there on the horizon, it's going to flow when you're ready for that to happen. Because the card sitting underneath it is the movement card. So you're definitely going to move with this. It's going to flow, but you need to be aware of it to make any of those things happen. And there's going to be leaving some things behind. This love card here may represent, a person, but it also could be that you fall in love with yourself in this new place. It could be that you love the life that you create. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a person coming in here for you, pile 3, but it doesn't mean that it won't. Depending on where you feel that this message is finding you in your life and what part of your life it is coming into. So I want to know if there's any other messages here for pile 3. What else do we need to know here? And I'm really being drawn back to the Raven card. The magic and coincidence. What else? So you may actually see ravens. You may be drawn to magic or the occult. That card at the back is calling me the High Priestess. Oh my gosh, I love that. The High Priestess. I think she has the raven in the picture. So she has that, that beautiful magical quality. It's about discernment, prescience, prophecy and vision. So, for a lot of you, this could be a waking up onto a spiritual path. Absolutely. This could be waking up to your intuition. This could be very much waking up to your intuition with the movement card down here. It's very much that sort of emotional, feminine. The High Priestess is that feminine energy that's very much about the moon. It's about things that we don't necessarily see, not the concrete, but the etheric. And the movement, water, makes me think about that too, because it's going with the flow and it's things flowing easily and smoothly. But the High Priestess, I absolutely love that for you. So the High Priestess is all about, magic, possibilities, but it's tuning into your own innate wisdom, tuning into your psychic senses, if that's something that you're interested in. But it feels like if this is something that, you resist, there'll be some coincidences and some synchronistic elements that'll bring it in anyway. And then we have the Wind Fairy, which is thoughts, words, intellect, and analysis. And here I want to say, don't let these things get in the way. Our mind can create lots of problems where there isn't one. Our mind can constantly bring up things from the past when we do not, even need to go there. So just, be really mindful about that. The Deer. Oh, I love the Deer. The Deer is 22, and it's a beautiful, soft, delicate energy. It is gentleness, diplomacy. And this to me is really talking about this decision. And it's making me think about the mystery. It's making me think about this card. And this is being stuck sort of in the headlights. It's like, well, now that I know this other stuff, what the hell am I going to do? What am I going to do here? I might be a little bit frozen because of all this stuff that might come up. I may be very, very excited to be moving forward into a different, element in my life. But I might also be caught in the headlights. I might be unafraid or afraid to move forward. And what I feel like this card is talking to you about, it's double the Priestess, is knowing your own mind before you move forward. So I feel like it's got quite a strong connection to the Wind Fairy. It's because that's an 11 when it gets reduced down. So some master numbers here. this is diplomacy for yourself, not for anybody else. This is knowing, being gentle with yourself and being diplomatic with yourself. So understanding when you're ready to make a move. So it's not pushing forward because someone else told you that's what you need to do. This is seeing all of this for yourself. This is knowing that this is the right move for you, that this is the right path for you, that these things feel right to you, listening to your psychic intuition, listening to yourself, and moving when it feels right for you, and not letting anybody else push you forward or back on the path that other people thought that you're supposed to be on. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel if you're so inclined. And if you would like to book a private reading or a personal reading, there's a link in the comments below. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you in the future. Bye for now.